Good afternoon. This is All India Radio. I am Valsa Williams and with me is VC Pramod with the Midday News. The headlines. Technology can enable government outreach to the last mile of development, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Bengaluru Tech Summit. India-Luxembourg virtual summit to be chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his counterpart this evening. 4 terrorists killed in an encounter near Bantour Plaza in Nagrota on Jammu-Srinagar National Highway. Active caseload of COVID-19 falls below 5% of the total cases. And on World Toilet Day, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu urges people to keep India open defecation free. As the nation fights the COVID-19 pandemic, we begin with a message of precaution to stay safe and protected by following these 3 simple steps. Wear a face mask, maintain 2 gaz ki duri for social distancing, focus on hand and face hygiene. And now the news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi inaugurated the Bengaluru Tech Summit virtually today. Speaking on the occasion, he explained the possibilities of technology in taking the benefits of governance to the last person in society. He said technology helps speed up delivery of government programs and encourages transparency.
Our governance model is technology first. Millions of farmers receive monetary support in one click. Our government has used the power of data analytics to ensure better service delivery and efficiency. Technology is the prime reason our schemes have gone beyond files and changed lives of the people at such a speed and scale. Today, when we are able to help the poor build their home at an unprecedented scale, speed and transparency, it is thanks to technology.
The Prime Minister said that India is uniquely positioned to leapfrog the world in the information era.
Achievements of the industrial era are in the rear view mirror, and now we are in the middle of information era. India as a country is uniquely positioned to leap ahead in the information era. We have the best minds as well as the biggest markets. Our local tech solutions have the potential to go global. India is at a sweet spot. It is time for tech solutions that are designed in India but deployed for the world.
The Prime Minister cited a few examples of Indian products meeting global standards, namely the UPI umbrella platform.
We provided India with UPI, an umbrella platform where everyone can host their digital payment products and plug in digital payments. This empowered many products. Last month, recorded more than 2 billion transactions. We are doing something similar in the National Digital Health Mission. Some of you may have also heard about the Swamitva scheme. It is an ambitious scheme to give land titles to millions of people in our rural areas. This will not only bring an end to many disputes, but also empower people.
The Prime Minister said that the policy of his government is to find tech solutions for their quick implementation, whether it is the world's largest health insurance program, Ayushman Bharat, or reaching electricity and providing shelter to the poor.
At the peak of the COVID-19 lockdown, it was technology that ensured that India's poor received proper and quick assistance. If India is successfully operating the world's largest healthcare scheme, Ayushman Bharat, it is due to a big role of technology. This scheme had specially helped the poor of India. Now, they no longer have to worry about access to top quality and affordable healthcare in any part of India.
The Prime Minister assured IT, innovation and other tech industries of a liberal policy framework. He said the government has eased the compliance burden of the IT industry, engaged with the stakeholders in the tech industry to create a future framework for the growth of the sector. The Prime Minister called upon young talents to create robust cyber security solutions to protect our data and IT-based products. He laid emphasis on a sound data governance framework, talking about the role of technology in the defence sector. The Prime Minister said the global conflicts are based on technological innovations, where data analytics play a crucial role. Australian Prime Minister Scott Morrison and Swiss Confederation Vice President Guy Parmelin attended the inaugural event virtually. Chief Minister of Karnataka B.S. Yediyurappa participated in the inaugural event today along with his cabinet colleagues. Our correspondent has filed this report.
The 23rd edition of Bengaluru Tech Summit has brought together global tech industry leaders on one platform. It has provided an opportunity for Indian tech hubs and startups to showcase the product to the discerning tech-savvy audience. Speaking on the occasion, Karnataka Chief Minister B.S. Yediyurappa has said that state is working towards achieving 50% market share of the national bioeconomy target, amounting to $100 billion by 2025. The Deputy Chief Minister holding the portfolio of IT, BT and Science and Technology, Dr. C.N. Ashwath-Narayana, spoke about the dominant role played by Bengaluru in the IT sector at the national level. He informed that Karnataka has instituted the Karnataka Digital Economy Mission to increase the state's digital economy from the present $52 billion to $300 billion digital economy in the next 5 years. Sudhindra, AIR News, Bengaluru.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his Luxembourg counterpart Xavier Bettel will hold a virtual summit today. This will be the first standalone summit meeting between India and Luxembourg in the past 2 decades. The leaders will discuss the entire spectrum of bilateral relationship, including strengthening of India-Luxembourg cooperation in the post-COVID world. They will also exchange views on international and global issues of mutual interest. India and Luxembourg have continued to maintain high-level exchanges in the recent past. The two prime ministers have met previously on 3 occasions.
In Jammu and Kashmir, 4 terrorists were killed in an encounter with security forces near Bantour Plaza, Nagrota on the Jammu-Srinagar National Highway this morning. Addressing media persons in Jammu, Inspector General of Police Mukesh Singh said that J&K Police and CRPF had received specific input about the movement of terrorists from Samba sector towards Nagrota Bantour Plaza. He said when the truck in which they were hiding was stopped for a routine check at about 5 a.m., terrorists fired upon the security personnel and lobbed grenades. Reinforcements were rushed and all the 4 terrorists were eliminated in the encounter. The IG said that the terrorists who had infiltrated from across the border had planned to strike in a big way in the Union territory.
4 terrorists were killed. We have recovered 11 AK-47 rifles with them, which is a huge number. 3 pistols. There are satellite phones and compass and mobile phones also recovered. We will be investigating the matter and further details can follow. Plan of the terrorists was something big because never in the past has each terrorist been carrying 3 AK-47 rifles.
Border Security Force DG Rakesh Asthana today said the force is committed to national security and countering infiltration. He said martyrdom of soldiers and officers has not deterred the spirit of the force. On ceasefire violations and infiltration, Mr. Asthana said historically infiltration increases before snowfall. Within 24 hours, maximum number of recoveries have been reported in Kerala. The COVID-19 recovery rate of the country has further improved to 93.58%. More than 83,83,000 people have recovered so far. In the past 24 hours, 48,493 recoveries have been reported across the country. Ministry of Health in a statement said that daily trend of recoveries has outpaced new cases, ensuring continuous shedding of active caseload, which has fallen below 5% of the total cases. The active cases currently comprises only 4.95% of the total positive cases, and the total number of active cases in the country is 4,43,303. The Health and Family Welfare Ministry today said a total of 45,576 new cases of COVID-19 have been reported in the country within 24 hours. In one day, 585 deaths have been reported, taking the nationwide toll to 1,31,578. The ministry said 79.49% of the 585 case fatalities that have been reported in the past 24 hours are from 10 states and union territories. The case fatality rate stood at 1.47% in the country, which is one of the lowest globally. The ministry said 77.27% of the new recovered cases are contributed by 10 states and union territories. Within 24 hours, maximum number of recoveries have been reported in Kerala, Delhi, Maharashtra, West Bengal and Uttar Pradesh. In terms of number of people recovered from coronavirus, Maharashtra stands at the top position, followed by Andhra Pradesh and Karnataka. In the past 24 hours, maximum number of deaths have been reported in Delhi, followed by Maharashtra. Meanwhile, the Indian Council of Medical Research said various laboratories in the country have conducted 10,28,203 tests of coronavirus samples in the last 24 hours. More than 12 crore 85 lakh tests have been conducted in the country so far.
Mumbai is getting fast out of the corona grip, with the doubling rate crossing 300 days. The average patient growth rate in the BMC area has also come down to 0.22%. The number of active patients in the BMC area has also been steadily declining. However, considering the possibility of the second wave of COVID, the administration is not taking any chances and is continuing with the effective measures to control the spread of the disease.
Even though the number of COVID-infected patients in the BMC area has been steadily declining, the BMC administration has not allowed any laxity in its continuous effort to restrict the disease. The civic body has started a special campaign to conduct medical tests for COVID on various shopkeepers, hotel employees, bus drivers, carriers, etc. who came in close contact with a large number of people recently during the Diwali festival. And if anyone is found infected during this test, then the person is kept in isolation and given necessary medical treatment as well as counseling. The BMC is also appealing to the citizens, stating that if anyone experiences any symptoms of COVID, then he should immediately undergo a medical test, which can be done even free of cost at 244 government-aided dispensaries, hospitals under the jurisdiction of the civic body. Devapriya Bhattacharjee, AIR News, Mumbai.
In Rajasthan, the death rate of COVID-19 has fallen to 0.91%. More than 2,100 people have died due to the disease in the state so far. 73% of these deaths occurred in urban areas. Our correspondent reports that the government has decided to provide pulse oximeters to Asha Sahayoginis in view of the increasing numbers of infections in rural areas.
573 people have died in rural areas of the state due to the infection so far. Chief Minister Ashok Gehlot has said that people in rural areas should not take this disease lightly. They should wear masks and fully comply with other health protocols. The state government has also decided to provide pulse oximeter to all Asha Sahayoginis so that the oxygen level of people can be checked in villages. Mr. Gehlot has urged private hospitals to increase the number of beds for COVID patients and provide treatment at rate fixed by the state government. Meanwhile, 2,178 people tested positive in the state yesterday. The number of active patients in the state has also increased to more than 19,000. Jitendra Dwivedi, AIR News, Jaipur.
In Tripura, the recovery rate of COVID-19 infections has further improved to 96.09%, with 30,833 infected people getting cured till date. According to the state COVID-19 health bulletin, 73 new cases of coronavirus were detected in the past 24 hours. Also, 106 patients were discharged yesterday after recovery from the virus. With this, the total number of infected people rose to 32,112. As of today, 892 infected people are undergoing treatment in different COVID care centers. The state health bulletin stated that 5,18,000 samples have been tested till yesterday evening. Out of the total samples tested, 4,67,906 persons have been found negative of the infection. In Mizoram, 32 new cases of coronavirus infections were detected and 8 patients were discharged from hospitals after recovery in the past 24 hours. With this, the total number of COVID-19 cases rose to 3,513. The state COVID bulletin stated that 3,021 infected people have so far been recovered from the disease and discharged from different COVID care centers. According to the statement, the recovery rate has also improved to 85.6%. Presently, 487 infected persons are undergoing treatment in different COVID care centers and hospitals.
Senior medical expert Dr. Madhur Yadav, while talking to AIR, said as most activities are being allowed under the unlockdown, more coronavirus cases are being reported from some areas. He said COVID-19 testing is being carried out on a large scale. Dr. Yadav also said there is no cause for fear as the government is fully prepared to tackle the situation.
हम लोगों ने कोविड-19 की जो रेस्ट्रिक्शन थी उसके पालन में थोड़ी ढिलाई बरत दी। अनलॉकडाउन काफी कुछ खुल गया है, एक स्कूल छोड़ के बाकी सब शुरू हो गया है, तो धीरे धीरे ये केसेस बढ़ते जा रहे हैं। प्लस टेस्टिंग भी हमारी उसी तरीके से बढ़ रही है, चाहे वो रैपिड एंटीजन टेस्ट हो या वो आरटी-पीसीआर हो। तो इसकी वजह से लगता ही है कि बहुत ज्यादा केसेस आ गए। लेकिन मैं ये कहना चाहूंगा कि यदि हम अभी भी सुधर जाते हैं और अपने आप को सहमित कर लेते हैं तो हम इससे बच सकते हैं। दूसरी मैं एक बात कहना चाहूंगा कि डरने वाली कोई बात नहीं है। सरकार ने बेड का अरेंजमेंट अच्छा खासा कर लिया है। आर्मी हॉस्पिटल को भी रोपिन कर लिया है। एमसीडी के भी जो हॉस्पिटल्स हैं, खासतौर से जो हिंदुरा हॉस्पिटल, उसके भी बेड भी ले लिए हैं।
You are listening to the Midday News on All India Radio. A reminder of the headlines before we move on. Technology can enable government outreach to the last mile of development, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Bengaluru Tech Summit. India-Luxembourg Virtual Summit to be chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his counterpart this evening. 4 terrorists killed in an encounter near Bantour Plaza in Nagrota on the Jammu-Srinagar National Highway. Active caseload of COVID-19 falls below 5% of the total cases. And on World Toilet Day, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu urges people to keep India open defecation free. For quick news updates round the clock, follow us on our Twitter handle at AIR News Alerts.
चलो मिलकर एक शुरुआत करें, चलो एक फैसला आज करें, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे, चलो एक इरादा करते हैं, चलो खुद से वादा करते हैं, मास्क नहीं तो टोकेंगे, कोरोना को रोकेंगे।
On the second day of folk festival Chhat, ritual of Kharna will be performed this evening. Devotees will offer kheer, puri and fruits to the sun god during the worship. After taking these offerings as Kharna Prasad, devotees or the Chhat Vratis will observe 36-hour-long fast without water. The fast will end on Saturday morning after offering oblations or prateh arghya to the rising sun at Chhat Ghats. Tomorrow, the evening oblations or Sandhya Arghya will be offered to the setting sun. The 4-day-long festival will conclude on Saturday morning with Prateh Argh. The biggest folk festival of Bihar is also a manifestation of communal and social harmony. People of all walks of life participate in this festival, which is related to worship of nature. This year, the festival is being observed amid the COVID-19 pandemic, so precautionary measures are being taken during mass gathering.
In the Chhat festival, devotees offer all kinds of seasonal fruit, vegetables and bulbs to the god, which denotes its significance in agrarian society of Bihar. Sweets and cuisines like thekua, kachwania and other things made from cereals are also offered during the puja. In Bihar, markets and vending streets are flooded with these items used during Chhat Puja. The festival also creates a good demand for objects made by local artisans and potters. Soup, daura, a kind of basket and other essentials made from bamboo and clay chulha, diya are widely used in this festival. These create good opportunities for sales and source of income for street vendors and small businessmen. The festival is a true realization of vocal for local in terms of promotion of small merchants and vendors. Dharmendra Kumar Rai, AIR News, Patna.
The Delhi Disaster Management Authority DDMA has instructed officials to ensure that Chhat Puja this year is not performed at public places, river banks and temples in Delhi. Chief Secretary and DDMA Executive Committee Chairman Vijay Dev issued directions to all concerned and for strict compliance and to encourage people to celebrate Chhat at their homes during the pandemic. The situation of COVID-19 in Delhi was reviewed and it had been observed that there is a persistent rise in COVID-19 cases in Delhi in the recent period.
In Kerala, today is the last day for filing of nominations for the local body polls. Scrutiny of papers will be held tomorrow. November 23rd is the last date for withdrawing the nominations. The polls will be held in 3 phases on December 8th, 10th and the 14th. As being the first election to be held amid COVID pandemic in Kerala, strict COVID protocol has been put in place for the conduct of the local body election. Postal voting facility will be provided for COVID positive patients and those in quarantine. In Madhya Pradesh, a community-based nutrition management program of very severely malnourished children is being conducted in all districts under the Nurtured Families, Well-Nurtured Madhya Pradesh campaign. Under this campaign, seriously malnourished children are identified and after 12 weeks or 3 months of effort brought to normal nutrition levels. Now, families whose efforts have led to a change in the nutritional level of the severely malnourished children will also be honored under the campaign. Our correspondent tells us more on this.
Principal Secretary of Women and Child Development Department Ashok Shah has written a letter to all the district collectors informing that an incentive of ₹400 will be given in 2 installments to the families who are honored under the Poshit Parivar Suposhit Madhya Pradesh campaign. Under this, the first installment will be given to such families whose children have fallen from very severe malnourished category to moderate category. Similarly, the second installment will be given only when the children improve their nutritional level from category of moderate malnutrition to normal level. Apart from this, other health services related to the child such as getting vaccinated according to the age, beginning of solid food after 6 months as per the standard guidelines, family health and level up nutritional education will also be assessed. Sanjeev Sharma, AIR News, Bhopal.
Union Petroleum and Natural Gas and Steel Minister Dharmendra Pradhan has called upon the government of Odisha for a comprehensive and long-term resolution of Odisha's border disputes with its neighbouring states. In a letter to Chief Minister of Odisha, Naveen Patnaik, the Union Minister emphasized on resolving the long-standing border disputes between Odisha and the neighbouring states of Andhra Pradesh, West Bengal, Jharkhand and Chhattisgarh in the spirit of cooperative federalism. He also urged the Chief Minister to seek the support of the central government in mediating a resolution. A report on this from our correspondent.
In his letter, the Union Minister has requested the Chief Minister of Odisha to ensure the socio-economic interest of the people of the state is not compromised in any way. He said that if necessary, the state should consider legal remedies for resolution of the boundary dispute. He has suggested to the state government to convene an all-party meeting with due participation and inputs from Odisha's intelligentsia and civil society for discussing the border disputes with the neighbouring states. In addition, Union Minister Pradhan has asked for the constitution of a House committee in the Odisha Legislative Assembly comprising of members of different parties to undertake a detailed study of the issues and to present their learned findings and recommendations. Mr. Pradhan's letter assumes significance in the light of the recent boundary tension in the Potangi block of Koraput district of Odisha along its border with Andhra Pradesh. Girish Chandra Das, Bhubaneswar.
The nation is remembering former Prime Minister Indira Gandhi on her 103rd birth anniversary today. Prime Minister Narendra Modi paid tribute to the late leader. Congress President Sonia Gandhi and party leader Rahul Gandhi visited Indira Gandhi Memorial to pay their tributes to Indira Gandhi. Mr. Gandhi also offered his tributes to the late leader at her Samadhi Shakti Sthal. M.L. Dhar, former IAS officer, passed away in Ahmedabad today. He was 72. He started his career as news editor in News Services Division of All India Radio in 1971 and worked in several media units of Information and Broadcasting Ministry, including PIB, Doordarshan News and erstwhile Directorate of Field Publicity. He retired as director.
The United Nations has adopted a resolution calling for the urgent solution of the Rohingya crisis. The resolution, tabled by the Organization of Islamic Countries (OIC) and the European Union (EU), was adopted yesterday by a majority of 132 countries voting in favour, 9 against and 31 abstentions. Permanent Mission of Bangladesh at the UN said in a press release that this year the resolution has taken some new developments into account, such as the provisional order of the International Criminal Court of Justice and the issue of disenfranchisement of the Rohingya and other minorities. The resolution called for specific action on the part of Myanmar to address the root cause of the Rohingya crisis, including granting them citizenship and ensuring safe and sustainable return to their homes by creating a conducive environment. The resolution appreciated the government of Bangladesh for the humanitarian act of providing shelter to the displaced Rohingyas. It called upon other countries to support Bangladesh in its humanitarian efforts. Today is World Toilet Day. The day is observed to create awareness about sanitation and encourage people to use toilets. On the occasion, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu has said that poor sanitation leads to malnutrition and increases the risk of transmission of diseases. He said that hygiene and sanitation should be a priority for healthy communities and healthy nation. In a tweet, he urged the people to reaffirm their commitment to keep India open defecation free. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said that India has strengthened its resolve of toilet for all. In a tweet, Mr. Modi said that the last few years have seen an unparalleled achievement of providing hygienic toilets to crores of Indians. He said it has brought tremendous health benefits along with dignity, especially to our Nari Shakti. Department of Drinking Water and Sanitation of Ministry of Jal Shakti is celebrating the day under Swachh Bharat Mission Grameen for promoting awareness on access to safe sanitation. On this occasion, top districts and states are being felicitated with Swachhata Puraskar. More from our correspondent.
The theme of this year's World Toilet Day is Sustainable Sanitation and Climate Change. Severe effects of climate change like floods, drought and rising sea levels are threatening sanitation systems and increasing health risks. Safe and hygienic toilets form the strongest defense mechanism against COVID-19 and other diseases. In the last few years, India has taken remarkable steps to inculcate the practice of safe and hygienic sanitation behavior under the Swachh Bharat Abhiyan. This drive not only changed the age-old habits of millions of people, but also increased their productivity while protecting them from diseases. It also paved way for construction of over 11 crore household toilets and conversion of more than 6 lakh villages into open defecation free. Bhupendra Singh, AIR News, Delhi.
Border Security Force BSF is organizing a paracycling expedition Infinity Ride 2020 in association with Aditya Mehta Foundation. The expedition commenced from Srinagar today and will culminate at southern tip of India at Kanyakumari, Tamil Nadu on the 31st of December this year. The expedition was flagged off this morning by Rakesh Asthana, DG of BSF at Nishad Bagh in Srinagar.
Now let us take a look at the weather forecast for today. The national capital will have a hazy sky today. The minimum temperature was 9 degrees Celsius and the maximum will be around 25 degrees. In Mumbai, the sky will be partly cloudy. Minimum temperature was recorded at 24 degrees and the maximum will be around 36 degrees Celsius. Chennai will have a generally cloudy sky. The temperature will hover between 25 and 31 degrees Celsius. Kolkata is also expected to have a partly cloudy sky with temperature varying between 22 and 31 degrees. In Srinagar, generally cloudy sky with light rain is expected today. The minimum temperature was 0 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 12 degrees. In Jammu, the minimum temperature was 10 degrees, while the maximum will be around 23. The city may witness a partly cloudy sky becoming generally cloudy towards afternoon or evening. In Leh, the sky will be partly cloudy becoming generally cloudy later. Minimum temperature was minus 6 degrees Celsius, while the maximum will be around 7 degrees. Gilgit will have rain or snow today and the temperature will hover between 1 and 12 degrees Celsius. Generally cloudy sky with moderate rain is expected in Muzaffarabad. The temperature will hover between 5 and 16 degrees Celsius. In Dehradun, temperature will hover between 10 and 25 degrees. The city will have a mainly clear sky. Chandigarh will also have a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was recorded at 11 degrees Celsius, while maximum is expected to be 26 degrees. In Hyderabad, the minimum temperature was 20 degrees Celsius, while maximum will be around 31 degrees. The city will have a partly cloudy sky with haze. Ahmedabad will see a mainly clear sky. Minimum temperature was 14 degrees, while maximum will be around 31 degrees. Patna will have a partly cloudy sky, with temperature hovering between 18 and 28 degrees. And now, before we end the bulletin, the headlines once again. Technology can enable government outreach to the last mile of development, says Prime Minister Narendra Modi at Bengaluru Tech Summit. India-Luxembourg virtual summit to be chaired by Prime Minister Narendra Modi and his counterpart this evening. 4 terrorists killed in an encounter near Bantour Plaza in Nagrota on Jammu-Srinagar National Highway. Active caseload of COVID-19 falls below 5% of total cases. And on World Toilet Day, Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu urges people to keep India open defecation free. For details of these stories and more, log on to our website www.newsonair.com and News on AIR app. And with that, we end the Midday News.